Hello there. After a few vlogs, I think this is the first time I'm really sharing something personal. To be honest, it took some courage. Seeing and hearing myself on a screen, gosh, it felt so different from how I felt I looked and sounded. But now, I'm trying to get used to myself. I'm Korean, but I've spent over 30 years living in different countries, and this trip to Korea was the first step toward preparing for a more settled life here. I may share more about myself in future vlogs, but for now, I just didn't want these captured moments to go unused. Because I stayed in hotels and was constantly on the move, most of my clips turned out to be about food. Quick recordings between meetings, usually during meals. So this vlog is a simple collection of places I truly enjoyed, a few of my favorite food spots, and where I stayed in Korea. Years of food reviews, 75 million views later, felt like it was time to show, not just tell. So now, I filmed the favors I used to write about. During this trip, I based myself in Mapo, Seoul. It's located roughly halfway between my two kids' universities, which made it very convenient. But more than that, Mapo is known as the Pantry of Seoul. If you are ever planning a trip to Seoul, these places might be worth checking out. Every morning, I'd pick up an iced Americano, just about $1. Sometimes I'd walk or jog with it in hand. Other times, I'd finish my run and start the day with a coffee and a bagel. Mega Coffee is one of those great value chains in Korea, offering large-sized coffee at a small price. You'll find it almost everywhere, so if you're visiting Korea, it won't be hard to spot. The bagel shop I kept going back to was a tiny place called Bagel. Tucked right beside the walking trail, soft, chewy, and simple. The kind of taste that just fits perfectly after a morning walk. They open at 8 in the morning, not too early, but early enough to catch the quiet rush of joggers and commuters. Something about sipping coffee and watching the city wake up made those mornings feel a little more special. And if bagels are not your thing, there's a bakery cafe nearby called Stock, a dangerously good one. Their pastries and bread aren't just varied, they're exceptional. So good, in fact, you might forget you were trying to avoid carbs in the first place. This area, Gongdeok Station in Mapo, sits at the heart of a district wider than most people expect. And from here, there's a walking path that stretches all the way to Hongdae and Hannam-dong. A reminder that Seoul isn't just about futuristic. This trail, morning or evening, is far too beautiful not to walk or run on. Wow, food. Let's stay with that now. After a busy morning in Seoul, my first meal was kalguksu and mandu at Myeongdong Gyoza. It's now a Michelin spot, but for me and my wife, it's where our moms used to take us as kids. A humble dish, now world famous. There are many great kalguksu places, but this one reminds me location matters. In fast-moving Myeongdong, this bowl still feels like comfort. After my first meal in Korea, I met up with my daughter at Matcha, also located in Myeongdong, a dessert cafe themed around her favorite, matcha. And on the way back to hotel, I picked up some late-season strawberries. Back in the room, my son joined us too. I'm not a big fruit lover, But when it's the strawberry season in Korea, I never skip them. For dinner, my family wanted sushi before the weather got too warm. Mapo has plenty of famous spots for sushi, but I found a hidden gem, Kim Tae-wan Sushi. It's not really trendy, more like a 90s style sushi bar, but the taste, solid, and with a few branches now, their skill speaks for itself. When it comes to sushi in Mapo area, there's a place I can't forget personally. A small izakaya hidden in the back streets of Gongdeok. Quiet, cozy, and surprisingly refined. Sushi, fusion dishes, even dessert. It just works. No video from back then, just a few photos. But if you're in Mapo, Seoul, and craving good sake in a quiet spot, scan the QR code and let's keep it between us. Eating out for whole 2 weeks in Mapo, a food lover's dream and a dieter's nightmare. There are still so many places to try in Mapo. This neighborhood is dangerous. In best way, of course. To keep up, I jog and walk a lot. Cut the booze, jog 2 hours a day, lost 13 kilograms in several months. Still chasing a few more though. At first it felt like a penalty. Now it just feels like a paying value-added tax. Some joggings were outside, others on treadmill in the hotel. Not always 2 hours, but hey, no weight gained this trip. That counts. While checking out rentals, I stopped by Bundang, where I spent my newlywed days. And when I'm in Bundang, there's one non-negotiable stop, Yunmilwan. Famous for jokbal, yes, it's amazing. But the real star for me, Yangmuchim. Spicy, chewy, beef tripe magic. I usually wait over an hour for it happily. After a meal, Maman Gelato, my daughter's pick, famous for a reason. We visited my parents-in-law in Ansong and enjoyed some quiet tea time at a hilltop cafe. When the chat turned into hunger, we hit Jungang Garden, a barbecue spot famous in Ansong. Order grilled meat, and they surprise you with the raw beef, yukwae, liver, omasum, on the house. I'm a raw beef fan. You? Feeling brave? Some nights, you're just not that hungry, but a few skewers and good drink, that hits the spot. Kushi Grill is a place I drop by now and then. One guy runs the whole show. Grills, serves, and chat. Respect. The menu's clean and simple, but the ingredients, top-notch chicken, rare cuts, and a drink list that surprises even me. They serve traditional Korean soju you won't find at the supermarket. Even I discovered a few for the first time here. During this trip, my daughter had a birthday and full control of the menu, naturally. The first stop, Tak in Hannam-dong, a hip little taco spot tucked into a steep alley, not far from Mapo though. It was small, casual, and full of charm. The tacos? Not exactly straight out of Mexico, but way more than just trendy and colorful. You could taste the care. And honestly, that goes a long way. The alleyways of Hannam-dong were packed with the small but character-filled spots from quirky bites to bold fashion. It borders Itaewon, so it's no surprise the crowd was a perfect mix of locals and expats. A neighborhood with a personality and plenty of passport stamps. At a cute dessert cafe in Hannam-dong, we picked out a cake-shaped pastry to celebrate my daughter's birthday, her style. For dinner, she chose tuna sashimi, same place I took her last winter. She remembered and requested a repeat. We made a quick birthday wish. Then came the tuna feast. Every cut you can imagine served raw or cooked, and the grand finale, they break down the tuna head right in front of you. Dinner and a show. For this trip, I didn't plan to meet friends, but an old couple friend heard we were back and wouldn't stop calling. They now live in Daegu and insisted we visit. I hadn't been in 20 years, so why not? You know, some invites don't need yes, just a weekend. KTX ride in ears, and yes, still fast like a bullet. Daegu in no time, and watching 300 kilometers per hour on Google Maps, strangely satisfying. We met our old friends at Dongdaegu Station for the first time in 13 years. It was joyful, of course, but also strangely moving, seeing how much we've all aged and realizing, yeah, time doesn't mess around. Daegu had aged well through 20 years of development to look good on the city. As soon as we dropped our bags, our friend took us straight to Nogyang, famous for mungtiki, Korea's ultra-fresh raw beef, served moments after butchering. And then came the oduregi, a flavor bomb of sirloin and brisket in one bite, rustic, rich, unapologetically beefy. And of course, we added alcohol to the mix, because nothing accelerates a nostalgic reunion like a good meat and better soju. One night in Daegu wasn't enough for just one dinner, so the four of us headed to a cozy izakaya near their place. I don't usually sleep well in unfamiliar bed, but enough beer can fix that. Knowing how the night would go, I still squeezed in a jog before the train ride. But, let's be honest, no run could keep up with what we ate and drank that night. Calorie 1, again. The next morning, still feeling the after effect of the last night, our friend took me and my wife to a traditional market in Daegu. Somewhat different from Seoul, raw, lively, and full of charm. It reminded me that Korean street food pretty much started here. To fight the hangover, we had our second bowl of kalguksu this trip, rougher than Myeongdong's version, but in the best, most honest way. The market had everything: food, grocery, even clothes, all at the price that made you double check. If we'd stayed any longer, we definitely would have missed our train. If you're a foreigner visiting Daegu, try not to skip this traditional market in Daegu. Seriously. After a great time with the friends, we hopped back on the bullet train and returned to Mapo. Back in town, I revisited the spot with the story, Sandong Mandu. I stumbled upon it years ago, wandering cold winter street at minus 15 degrees Celsius, trying to study Mapo's late night food scene. Turns out it's not just any dumpling shop. It's a legendary Chinese restaurant known for handmade dumpling, hidden in quiet alley, modest in size but fully booked for the year, with just 2 days of open reservation. This time, I got lucky, waited an hour, and grabbed a spot from a last-minute cancellation. The food, not your usual heavy Chinese fare, flavor were clean, focused, and ingredients driven, and yes, everything beyond the dumplings was just as excellent. And wrapped up the day with the classic Korean treat gwabegi, fried dough, sugar, nostalgia, the perfect sweet ending. Since I come to Korea often, I've kept a few essentials in small storage unit downtown. It's fully unmanned and super convenient, but once I get a place here in Korea, this little setup will retire soon. While I was nearby, I couldn't not stop by Jinju Hwaegwan, my long-time go-to for kongguksu, famous, yes, but also deeply personal. Kongguksu is simple, called soy broth, noodles, that's it. But somehow, this place makes it profound. No more explanation needed. Just this, the best kongguksu in Korea, period. Oh, reminder, kongguksu is served only during summer. Just 200 to 300 meters from here, there's another favorite of mine, a samgyetang spot that's been listed in the Michelin guide for years. But I've been coming here long before Michelin cared about Korea. Served bubbling in a hot stone bowl, this ginseng chicken soup is Korea's answer to surviving the hot summer heat, which, let's be honest, feel a bit ironic. There are plenty of samgyetang places in Seoul, but me, I've always stuck with this one. Some habits are worth keeping. Sure, it may look like I came to Korea just to eat, but hey, I handled the important things, had thoughtful tea moments, even made time for Olive Young too. And yes, I worked out every day just to earn the right to eat the really good stuff. Balance, right? I stopped by Korea University to have lunch with my son. Proud moment? Absolutely. Also convenient, because just nearby is Majang Meat Market, the biggest meat market in Seoul, maybe even Korea. Every kind of meat and every cut imaginable sold wholesale. Buy what you want downstairs, take it up to the second floor restaurant, pay a table fee, and they will let you grill it. We went for the premium stuff, 2+ grade Korean beef, top of the line Hanu, at a surprisingly decent price. Some places even help you pair it with a soju or wine. So yes, I'm proud of my son for getting into Korea University, and a little extra thankful that it happens to be near Majang Meat Market. Okay, enough with the beef. Let's talk pork. I'm usually a grill it as is kind of guy, not big on marinated meats, especially 도지갈비. But 조박집 in Mapo, total exception. Mapo is known for pork ribs, and I've tried my share, but this is the only place in Korea that makes me order marinated pork rib voluntarily. They've renovated the place, but it still feels like a true neighborhood classic. Throw in some ribs, a cold soju, and suddenly life just feels easier, like pork therapy. Tonkatsu, rarely someone's all-time favorite, but also rarely hated. And yet, this place completely messed with my head. It might just be the most unforgettable meal of this trip. It's popular? So yes, the wait is real. My family put our name on the list and killed 90 minutes at a nearby cafe. Worth it? Oh, absolutely. Now, I've never believed pork could beat beef, but that belief died here. The chef trained at Le Cordon Bleu, then took his mom's favorite dish, tonkatsu, and elevated it to something else entirely. What did he do to the pork? The fry was perfectly crisp and never fought the natural fat of the meat. The tenderloin, pink, almost rare, was juicy, fragrant, almost like ham, but softer, better. The loin, clean, rich, almost buttery, no trace of that usual porkiness. Skirt steak tonkatsu. Who even uses that cut for tonkatsu? But somehow it worked. Juicy, meaty, like biting into the world's finest sausage. Honestly, I could keep talking, but I won't. Just go. Seriously, go. The spots I've shared through the QR codes, just the highlights, handpicked from way too many meals on this trip. And honestly, Mapo still has plenty more. Not always the most popular, but definitely my kind of weird. Like Namhae-bada, a Korean-style sashimi place known for expert aging techniques and seasonal fish rotations. Affordable? Not really, but refined enough to hurt your wallet gently. Then there's a toriaizu, not exactly top-tier skewers, but the vibe is cool, the people are cooler, and the beer tastes better than it should. I also swung by Bongpyeong, home of the famously polarizing Pyongyang cold noodles. Love it or leave it. I love it. Oh, I also found a place with a pretty good squid sashimi, one of the summer musts in Korea. As the trip was winding down, we swung by Songdo Incheon to check out a place. Thanks to my daughter's university, Yonsei, the city kind of grew on me and my wife. And hey, if you're already in Songdo, you have to eat jjajangmyeon in Chinatown, not too far from Songdo. So off we went to Yeongyang, the legend. No tasting notes needed, just trust. Pretty sure I'll be back in Chinatown a lot. Not for the food. Okay, maybe a little, but mostly because we signed. Yep, Songdo is now officially ours. With everything checked off and a new home officially signed, I'll be back soon to fill it with furniture, dishes, and whatever else adults are supposed to own. On my last day, just before heading to the airport, my son said, "I'll take you somewhere cool." Translation: Dad, trust me. He led us to Namsan, especially Haebangchon. When I was his age, Haebangchon was just a sleepy hillside. Now it's rooftop cafes, moody pubs, and Shinheung Market, once post-war traditional market, now a magnet for hipsters, tourists, and overpriced coffee. Honestly, seeing Seoul evolve like this, it makes me proud. Like watching your old friend finally glow up. We ended our day at Le Mont Blanc, a cozy little dessert cafe in the market. Tiny sweets, warm tea, and one last family pause before the goodbyes. And then off to the airport. Heart full, suitcase a lot lighter thanks to the unmanned storage, and in just a few weeks, a new life in Korea begins. See you soon, Korea.